Oh, hello, good morning, internet people of the world. Woo! Um, it is Tuesday, June 9, 7 a.m. in the morning. Alex reporting for duty. Beep, beep. Um, I, I don't have a plan on what to talk about. I probably should have put more thought into this, but it's the beautiful thing about, sorry, coffee and the muffin that I ate. It's coagulating in my throat and giving me problems swallowing and indigestion or heartburn or something, giving me burps. Gross. An unpleasant thing in the morning when you up fucking coffee and a chocolate chip muffin. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I should have put more thought into this. There was a couple things ruminating in my head that I wanted to dump, but oh well, here we go. Note to self: yesterday I had something of a pity party. Boo-hoo me, Dwight Day. I scrambled to get all my work done for the week, so I billed my client last night, and that was good. That was a load off my chest. But two things that I'd been kind of deferring or delaying. One was my federal taxes that I have to file. I was fired last June, 5th of June. And then I lived off savings for about 6 months or 5 months or I don't know, 4 months. Well, I lived off my savings completely because I did eventually claim EI. I didn't think I'd get it because I was terminated without cause or whatever it's called. And my understanding was that you don't qualify. But sure shit, that goes to show you, don't listen to what you think is true or what people tell you they think is true until you find out yourself. So I did end up getting a couple of months of EI, employment assistance or insurance or whatever it's called. I've never claimed it my entire life. So 25 years of employment and paying into that. I took advantage of it, and it covered about half my mortgage. So the other half, up until April, I had to cover from my savings. Let alone my monthly expenses. What did I get? I got about $2,000 a month, which maybe not. Well, maybe it was. I can't remember. Which is it sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot when you have a lot of expenses. My monthly food expense is about $1,000 a month. I don't know how or why it's that high for a single person, but part is because I buy fresh produce every second or third day. I don't tend to do bulk shopping because the idea of throwing something out and waste is it makes my head explode. So I'm very good that way, but it also means I buy fresh produce, and I'm kind of incompetent when it comes to making food. So I buy a pre-made salad every day, and that's $7. So if you multiply that by 30, I mean that's a couple $100, I think. No, 7 times 30. I don't even know. My math is that good. Hey Siri. Anyway, yeah, the pity party. So my taxes are high because I made a lot of money in 2025. I was on track to make a lot of money, I should say. So, what is that? January, February, March, April, May, and June. I probably would have made about 60 grand, and then there was a severance payment. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do that good then. I don't know. I'm just doing the math in my head now. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I might have made 90 grand in the 6 month period. Because anyway, there was other money that was coming in. And then I sold a property. And that I made about 50, 60 grand on that. Capital gains tax, I don't think I'm paying any because I didn't pay much more than that when I bought it. Anyway, maybe I'm not as bad off as I thought I was. I don't know why I didn't put thought into this prior to panicking. But anyway, there was probably 2,000 a month for 6 or 7 months. What is that? 12 grand, 13 grand. And then I withdrew about 30,000 in RRSPs because I was scrambling to get my house finished and livable. So that's where I was panicking anyways, that I had it in my head originally that I'd owe 150. That I would have been on record as making 150, but I don't think I will be now that I'm kind of doing the math out loud. This is another example of don't trust your intuition, you dum-dum, because what I think is something is often not the truth. And aren't we all guilty of that? That's part of what I rant and rave about on this channel all the time. Here I am doing it. Anyway, so my federal taxes was my big hoo-hoo. And then I got my property tax bills for my condo and my house, and both of them were insanely overvalued, like 70,000 on my house and 20,000 on my condo. So I lost my shit. I was just not fucking having it, man. I was like, no, like, why? How does it keep going up? Like, fuck. My condo has been valued at 200,000 since the day I moved in like 12 years ago. So how the city thinks it just goes up and up and up is like they're fucking delusional. It's 1 or 2 units in that entire complex that have been pimped out to the nines, and that's why they demand the 230 or 220. But the other thing that gets me is I know like 12 other owners in that complex, and not a single fucking one of them have their property values go up like that. So it's like, what? The city is targeting me, and it fucking pisses me off. Like, God, I'm ready to march down there with a bat and start talking to people with Lucille. Anyway, and then on top of that, my insurance for my house and my condo came back, and they want $2,600. And my condo when I lived there was about $400 a year, and I put a tenant in there, and it tripled. And my house insurance, I pay more for my house, which is 1,100 square feet, than my brother from another mother, who I think his house is like double the size almost, and it's nicer. It's finished from up to down, and he pays less. So I think you do anyway. And I mean, you know who you are if you see this video. Don't correct me in public. Just send me a text and tell me if I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, man, my taxes, my fucking just everything. And then the other thing that set me off is I brought my truck to a buddy of mine on Friday. He said he'd have it fixed in an hour. It's now been 4 days that it has been sitting in his garage. So he's either unable to fix it, or this is going to cost me several hundred or $1,000 just for the repair. I would have been better off taking it to a Fountain Tire or a dealership. And then harping at them when they came back and said, oh, it's going to take 5 days. I just would have. Anyway, so I don't have wheels, and that lack of mobility is driving me fucking nuts. I had to order SkipTheDishes just now for coffee and a donut or a muffin, and that cost me $20 fucking dollars. Like, fuck. Tim Hortons is about 10 blocks north of me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's 2 or 3 kilometers. No, it's a little more than that. Maybe. I don't know. It might be 4 clicks. Too far to walk because my hip is fucked, and I needed something fast so I can start working on my computer. And anyway, just yesterday was a lot of frustration, and today is, I don't know if it's shaping up to be much better. We'll see. To make a short story long, I finally got my tax information and shit together, my income from the condo and blah, 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 which is another thing that jacks up my income. But I pay more in expenses than I make on that property. So I'm basically net zero. So I probably get nothing back from the government on that, and they'll still want to fuck me in the ass for my RRSP withdrawals of 30 grand. I restored about 25, so I'll owe tax on the 5,000 for sure. But fuck, whatever. It is what it is, man. I got bills and fucking expenses coming out the wazoo right now. Probably 15, 20 grand in repairs around the house, and hot water tank is probably going to go soon, and my truck is going to cost me $1,000 minimum. At least that's what I'm stomaching. Hopefully Jamie just comes back and says, "Okay, bud, sorry it took so long. We'll go 500 on time and 180 on the part," or whatever. Fucking, we'll see. And then I'm not touching anything on that truck. Fucking pissed me off, piece of shit. But I don't want to buy a new one because I'm cheap. And I don't even know if I'd qualify right now. Being a contractor, they might tell me no. Mind you, they couldn't say anything. I have a line of credit that what I could purchase a brand new vehicle with, but fuck, the interest rate is ridiculous. It's 13%. I use that in emergencies. If I don't have the money in the account, I withdraw from my line of credit to pay off something so I don't get insufficient funds. And then the minute I get money, I just pay it off. That's basically how I live. And I expect everybody else to live that way, but people don't. So it's frustrating. It's annoying when I'm like, fuck, people shouldn't ask to borrow money from me. I'm in no position to borrow money, first of all. And secondly, why? Just go get a line of credit or a credit card. If you can't even do that, then fuck, that's a red flag, motherfucker, and I shouldn't be borrowing you money. Anyway. And then to top things off, I get fucking Reddit and YouTube videos showing me socialist, democratic progressives in Seattle and New York destroying those cities because they're fucking, I don't know, man. I'm a high school dropout. I had less opportunities than you can imagine. I don't care what the fuck people think or say, man. That you're starting off from a negative in life when you do that. I wouldn't advocate dropping out of high school to anyone because the world literally looks at you as useless. And you know what? Rightfully so, because stereotypes exist for a reason. I'll be honest, the vast majority of people, men specifically that I knew that dropped out of high school, were either career criminals or on their way to becoming such. A few of them have died. A couple more have been in prison or are still in prison. That's the stereotype. They tend to be incredibly dysregulated, poor emotional control. And some of them are troubled, man. A lot of them were, what separated me from a lot of those other guys, man, was that I had two parents that loved me and provided something of a safety net when I fell from grace. I had friends, man, that didn't have that. They had parents. Most of them had parents. The parents were just absent from their life or whatever. I had one buddy of mine that grew up in a group home, and anyway, I've had a few of those actually, not just one. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. Don't drop out of high school. It made life a lot more complicated. But I guess where I'm going with that is like, man, if I can figure this shit out and I'm on paper as one of the dumbest people on the planet, surely to fucking God you can. And the fact that these two mayors are so absent-minded as to how basic economics work and the idea of wealth gaps exist because supply and demand, which is a pretty basic principle that exists in every socioeconomic system, capitalism to communism and everything in between. People want what they can't have or don't have. And that's the driving force for life. And these people just, I don't know, trying to force systems on systems. They don't understand solutions. You can't pull blood from a stone, and taxing the wealthy is a stupid move because they will move. And then you're stuck with nothing. You're taxing people like me. And I don't have the agency or freedom to just sell and move. I would lose a tremendous amount of money if I sold this house in a pinch. So that's why I take those stories personally, because I'm like, oh man, you're this close to getting to me. And I don't have the millions to kind of go, okay, well, fuck you, city. I'm not paying 18% tax increase, which I think is what my area went up. Anyway. just got to eat shit sometimes and keep moving forward. And that's the Stoic way. It's what I keep telling myself. But I'm like, fuck, if I have to bend over and take it in the ass and have someone shat in my mouth, then you do too. And I don't know if that's a healthy mentality. I've talked about that a few times on this channel where I don't know, man. I want people to suffer and feel pain and agony and misery and sleep in the streets and fucking under a tree and get wet and damn near freeze to death walking home because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no cabs, you don't have money, and you can't call anyone. These are all things that I've put myself through either consciously or subconsciously, and it sucked. And when people whine online, I'm like, fuck, you need to be punched out in a parking lot. You should be fucking stabbed and see what that feels like. That terrifying moment of, fuck, I'm gonna die. And man, most people don't. You're a bunch of fucking pussies, and it just, I don't know. And I mean, what good is it for me to get angry about this stuff? I'm having a woe is me moment, so I'll admit that. I apologize if anyone that does watch this and it triggers them. Just understand that I'm frustrated right now, and I'm feeling stuck, and I recognize that, at least, thankfully. And that's sobriety. I wouldn't have recognized this in a drunken state. I would have just got more fucked up to fight my battles and demons. And the fuck do I know? I'm just a schmuck, cog in the wheel, going through life like you, blindfolders on. Anyway, it's almost 17 minutes. I'm done. We'll chat soon, or whatever. Take care. Love you all. Bye.